How's it going for you?
It's going real good. I have some owner ops lined up.
You have any under a dispatcher? Have you enrolled, or did I?
I haven't enrolled yet. Some things came along.
Okay. So the owner ops you have lined up, do you have them under a dispatcher agreement, or are you just waiting to?
I told them what I was doing, and they're like, once everything, all my paperwork comes in, that they'll sign up with me.
All of your paperwork, meaning your business paperwork?
The dispatch agreement.
Okay, so
Yes.
are you creating your dispatcher agreement?
I'm creating it, but I'm trying to go off of what you have, and I don't have access to it yet.
Okay. So let's do this. Forms and documents. I'm sharing my screen, so can you see the screen?
Yes.
All right. See. Dispatcher agreement and profile. So here's the dispatcher agreement. So do you have a logo for your business or no?
I just found one.
Okay. So you can create as a matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let me open up this. Dispatch agreements. So here's that. So whatever your logo is, you can put it in place of my logo. So this is a Word document, not the PDF, right? So
Okay.
So are you following the exact same template as mine, or are you going to change the wording? I'm going to do you a favor right now. We can pretty much design yours in Word and then save it as a PDF, like literally.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
Everything that I see on here, I'm probably going to follow.
Okay. So let me see here. So this batch will be what would you call it?
Lone Wolf. That's the company name.
Lone Wolf Dispatching, Lone Wolf.
No. I'm sorry. It's Thunder Wolf.
Underwolf.
And it's one. Yes, it's one word.
Okay.
Thunder Wolf Logistics.
Okay. One word, Thunderwolf Logistics. It has a little squiggly line here. I'm going to go ahead and ignore it so that goes away. All right. And then you have your phone number?
I'm just going to use the one that I have is 214.
Okay, 1 second. All right, 214.
223.
Okay.
4179.
All right. Now I'm going to read it to my desktop as that, so that way it doesn't override, and I'll call it Thunderwolf. So I'll know when I send it to your email that you will have it. In Word and PDF form today.
Okay.
you can make editing changes. So do you know how to save, do something in Word and then resave it as a PDF so it shows the change, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, do you have an email, a business email, or what email are they sending the dispatcher agreement to? Any carriers that you get?
Okay, it's TRFLP @27.
At Gmail, I see it right there. So
Yes.
now that's your business email.
That's my business email for now.
All right. Do you have a website?
No, not yet.
Okay, so we take that line out. So this is done. This, you want to leave the theme the same? I'm going to take out the logo, but but you can add your logo later.
Okay.
So we'll let's do this too. Let's look for a logo just to give you an idea. What's a good logo? Pixels.com. Pixels.com is a good website to find logos at.
There's clipartart.com, and it's a wolf howling at the moon.
Okay. This one?
I think you froze.
I'm right here.
Okay. No, it's another one. It's
I tell you what, I'll just copy this one
okay.
for now, just to have it in there as a space filler.
Okay.
All right? You see that?
Yes.
All right. Just as a space filler. And you want it to still say dispatcher agreement?
Yes.
Wait 1 second. Okay. Okay, so here, let's see, and then this is where the carrier is out. So we're going over at the same time designing it too, right? So and then whatever the carrier is, ABC Trucking. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. ABC Trucking, the carrier, the owner operator of truck number, whatever their number is, whatever their trailer number is, MC Authority, hereby authorizes permission to Thunderwolf Logistics, right? So we're going to say that. So instead of my information, you want me to keep the W capitalized like that or what?
That's fine.
Because you always edited Thunderwolf Logistics, and then just ignore that. To act as my agent for the sole purpose of searching for and booking loads, processing all brokerage paperwork. Now, the brokerage paperwork consists, of course, the carrier packet and the rate confirmation, right?
Yes.
And obtaining and submitting all necessary documents required in order to expedite loads and dispatch via phone, fax, or email for my license plate, and then this is the carrier's license plate in the state of wherever they are operated out of. All billing, invoicing, collections of revenue from brokers, customers, shippers, consignees are the sole responsibility of the carrier. So what we can do is change that up a little bit, and I'll do it on mine too. Let's center that and expand the size of it so the carrier can fully see that, right? You want
right.
Something like that needs to stand out, right?
Yes.
So If revenue for a shipment or shipments is uncollectible, Thunder Wolf Logistics will be held harmless and no penalty or deduction of fees will be made. And then let me bring this up. If I can. Up here, there we go. The carrier agrees to maintain all proper licenses and permits. What that means is their MC authority, their certificate of insurance, W-9 stuff.
Right.
To conduct business as a motor carrier in the area of intended operation. So, additionally, the carrier agrees to maintain general liability and cargo insurance at the amount set forth by the home state of the carrier. So, basically, those sentences basically saying the carrier needs to maintain their certificate of insurance, their MC authority, and their W-9. So,
yes.
At some point, I'll probably change mine as well. So right here, we'll say Thunder Wolf Logistics, right?
Yes.
Will be held harmless in the event of any and all claims. And we're going to center that so that can stand out as well. All right, so we resave that. Go down a little bit more. The fee for carrier dispatching or the fee for carrier dispatching services, what fee? Is it 10%? Is it 7, 8?
I'm asking for 10.
Okay, so I'll leave that there. As loads are picked up, delivered, and carrier is paid first, an amount equal to the above stated percentage or pricing scheme, because some people may use a flat rate as opposed to a percentage. That's why mine is here.
Okay.
So 80% or price scheme, so there's an option there. Will be payable to, and then we'll put it to Thunder Wolf Logistics. And so you're getting this without you being enrolled. Imagine that.
Thank you.
And it's still one page. Payments to the dispatcher once carrier is paid are to be conveniently paid with any debit or credit card via. Are you paying PayPal, Square, or whatever?
I don't have Square yet, but I have the Zelle, the Cash App.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will back out of this a little bit, and you fill in what your payment method is via whatever it is. So I'll leave it for you. Carrier authorizes. Now here's where the carrier gives us permission to fill out their carrier packets and rate confirmations and things like that on their behalf by them checking this box or initialing right here. So.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah, carrier authorizes dispatcher to complete and sign carrier setup packets for any and all brokerages or shippers on carrier's behalf, as well as sign any and all rate confirmations or rate cons on carrier's behalf. So what this sentence is saying is that the carrier is authorizing the dispatcher to fill out their carrier package for them and their rate confirmations for them to save time, as opposed to us chasing down the carrier, sending that stuff to them, having them fill it out for us, sending it back. By then, that load could have booked and moved by somebody else.
Right.
And then right here, the carrier initials here. So by them initialing that, they just approved that. So now, then it says, please provide your sale totals. This is what the carrier cell number, email address. So, and then either party has the right to end this agreement without cause at any time within 7 business days written request. So, and then by signing below, I understand the terms of this agreement, their company name, their signature and date, and then they print their name. And then dispatcher is, in your case, Thunderwolf Logistics. And define that. Okay, and then revised date, I want to change that to today.
Okay.
So it's been revised, and then I need to paste your signature in here. Well, now, do I just put Thunderwolf Logistics or?
You could put Tressie Ransom or Truth Ransom.
All right, so let's do this. And put that there, black paintbrush. And we can just put truth. That's what you said?
Yes. Truth Ransom.
Now my drawing abilities are
Not a problem.
terrible. But it's a true signature, right?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that part. And
SOM. That'll work.
so now and there it is. So that's a preliminary dispatcher agreement for you in Word format. I was going to create a PDF for it, but we don't have the payment feature completed. Now, you said you use Square, or you don't have a Square account, but you use the Square Cash app, right?
No, it's the regular Cash app.
Square?
No, it's another Cash app.
So a Cash app. So, is there an email involved with that Cash app?
Not yet. There's a hashtag or a $ name to it, which I haven't completed.
Yeah, so whatever your hashtag $ thing is, then you would put that way they can pay. Now, the reason why I ask for PayPal and Square is because that's common. Sometimes carriers don't have Cash App. Some carriers don't have. The majority of the most common ways to pay online with carriers via credit card or debit card is either PayPal or Square. So I was suggesting that. Cash App is becoming popular, but it's not there yet. So I recommend getting a PayPal or Square as well for consideration.
Okay.
But So as far as is this okay as far as the dispatcher agreement?
Yes, thank you.
Maybe this service probably needs to be included in the dispatcher one training, be designing the agreements for you guys as well, and then just send them to emails. Now, the next one, of course, is the profile, right? So I got this say, so let me open up the profile, and so let's go back to the dispatcher agreement, and let's copy this image just as a template and remove this one. So now we're going to save this as under Wolf Logistics profile. So we'll put that on my desktop. Thunder Wolf profile. So now we got this. So now carrier preference form. Carrier, some of the stuff is standard, right? Carrier, their home state, their name, ABC Trucking. What's the equipment type? Drive-in, flatbed, or reefer.
And this is the one that you was. Oh, it has it on here. The Hazmat Endorse. There was another form that we were talking about Wednesday or last Sunday, and that's what you was saying. Go ahead and put it in.
Yeah, this was it, the profile. And I didn't remember if I had it on mine or not because, and let me highlight that, divide that, and ignore. So are they? Right there, is what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah, Twig. Yeah, Twig. So I need to update mine while we're speaking about it.
Yeah, because I think you were showing us the other one because it didn't have the Hazmat Endorse on it.
So here it is. You're asking general questions. Do you do? Let me bring this a little bit smaller so I can have more room. Let me add some stuff to it here. Okay, so do you do short run? Do you do short hauls? Do you do long hauls? Yes or no? Yes or no? Say that for you. Hazmat endorsements. I'm going to highlight because you want to highlight certain things so they can actually
pop out
draw.
At them.
Yeah, right. And out. And what is the maximum load capacity on your trailer? So there, maximum load capacity amount on your trailer. And what days do you like off? So you're asking this is the profile sheet. You're going to cater your load search to profile. So how much money do you need to move your truck? In other words, cents per mile, right? CPM, cents per mile. Some people may ask what's the least price you would take for a load or how much money you need to move your truck or anything like that. Any additional comments? So anything on the profile sheet that you feel that you need to ask them when they're filling that out to get it back to you to provide you as much detailed information as you need in order to provide a good service to them as far as finding loads. So this is the profile sheet. So is there anything else that you may consider? Oh, we can add here to this. Do you travel in the mountains? And I'm going to put tolls, right?
Oh, that yes.
So that could be one-off as well, because they don't like to do tolls. So.
Right.
Because some people don't like to go on the mountains, like to go into the Appalachian Mountains or the Rockies. Some people like to stay in between the Rockies and the Appalachians in that Midwestern area. Some people like to stay east of the Appalachians in the Midwest area towards the Northeast or the Southeast or the Mid-Atlantic. Some people like to stay west of the Rockies, only in the west side, Californias, the Utahs, the Nevadas, the Oregons, the Washington states. So that type of question, will help them as well and help you when finding loads. So anything else that you think should be included? We have someone else. Hello, Delmar, can you hear me? So there's your profile. We'll say carrier. We don't want to. Let's just say profile.
Okay.
Yeah. All those other fancy words. Just get to the point, right?
Right.
Carrier name or trucking company name or whatever. So do we leave anything out? Let's see, mountains.
Mountains,
Underline that.
equipment,
So
long haul.
things that we need that are important. We need to know their equipment type, which is right here, which is their trailer. Remember, the trailer determines the equipment type, right? The tractor is just the truck, but whatever's attached or coupled or connected to that tractor determines the equipment. So if it's a trailer, then it's a flat equipment type. So we got flatbed, dry vans, and reefers. Those are the three common ones. I mean, if you get a carrier that says they are in the flatbed category, but they say they're a hot shot, then they're going to put 40-foot hot shot here, and then they're going to put their weight and all this other stuff.
Okay.
Hazmat. Go ahead.
Shouldn't we add that as well?
If you want to, the reason why I don't have this off as new dispatchers, you're better served working on the equipment type you can get those for the easiest. So it'll help you transition into being a freight dispatcher a little bit easier if you are working on equipment types that you can find loads for quicker.
Okay.
Right. So I mean that you should work on hot shots or straight trucks, and I'm just saying that it's easier starting off with the ones that you can find loads for the easiest. So.
Okay.
Okay. So this is good for you?
Yes.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll also save this one as okay, so the file type, I'm going to save it now as a PDF. I'm going to save it on my desktop still, and I'm going to still save it under the name, so now it's going to turn into a PDF file. So I'm going to look at it. It should be up there somewhere. I got to search for it, all this stuff up here. There it is, Thunder Wolf profile. Now, I didn't save the Word document as a PDF yet because we haven't gotten the payment option.
Right.
But you can always do that. I can still save it right now as an incomplete dispatcher agreement. You can just change the information on the Word side and resave it as a PDF once you receive it. So.
We can leave it the way it is right now. The Word document and the carrier profile as a PDF.
Okay. So here's your PDF for your profile. And now anything in the dispatch agreement, that we left out, or do you think?
I don't think we did.
Pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yes.
So this training is dispatcher agreement and profile. Yep. So I got two more guests, area code 909 and Delmar. If you guys can speak, just introduce yourself. Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Dispatcher 101 training for beginners. Training platform. Hello, who's this?
This is Delmar.
Oh, this is your cell phone. Okay, how's it going, Delmar?
It's going good, Charles. How are you doing?
Okay. You were on here before, correct?
Right. And now I'm home off the road and just watching now online and calling in because I can't hear on the computer. So that's why I called in. Just watching and right now currently I just applied for my authority. So that was on the 24th. So on the 15th that should be active.
Okay, so you're getting a carrier authority?
Yes, and I'm going to have a driver. I've already had her fill out the application, and she'll be driving for me here pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. And then I'll be here dispatching her and then dispatching other carriers. So.
And what equipment type was that driver going to be driving?
I'm sorry? Say again?
What equipment type of truck and trailer?
Oh, it's a drive-in. Yeah, tractor.
Oh, okay.
53-foot.
53-foot drive-in. Okay.
Right.
Are you going on the load boards? Are you finding contracts with shippers directly, or?
Yeah, yesterday I looked online at your YouTube on your last meeting that you had with Gigi, and you were talking about direct shippers. Now, I was up in Oregon and then up in Northern California, and I found some shippers up there that were having problems. This is maybe back in December, November, and they were having problems selling or getting carriers. The carriers would go to the farm. They would find out what the product was that they wanted to haul, and they would leave. So he said, hey, I'm really glad that you showed up and are going to carry our product. So what I'm going to have to do is I got the name of the farm, and I'm going to have to look them up and then see if I can make contact with their shipper manager to find out and see if I can get what's coming out of there.
Is it the reason why the carriers turned away? Is it like commodity that was hard to move or something, or what it not?
It's just a fear of getting in trouble for hauling the product. It's hemp. So a lot of the owner-operators would get up there, they'd find out what the product was, the commodity was, and then they would just say, hey, I can't take this.
Oh, it's hemp.
Right. So he had, right before I pulled up, he said he had 6 carriers that had just left that refused to take the product. So I think I hauled it, and it's a very strong odor, so it stays in the trailer for a while. So you'd have to have it washed out and then sprinkle some coffee back there to get rid of the smell. But yeah, it's pretty strong. So
what's the rate that? What was it? What's the loaded miles, and how much was it for that loaded mile when you hauled?
Let me see. Since I'm leased onto a carrier, I'm leased onto a company, and I'd have to look at my notes. Oh, okay. See, they paid me to haul this. I believe it was 1,100 miles, $3,140.45. That's to me. That's after 18% taken off of my load for the carrier that I'm leased to, and so he got this from a broker. So for that 1,100 miles, I mean, just imagine what the broker took off the top before he got a hold of it and then passed it down.
Correct.
So that's
$2.5 a mile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 285
right.
miles.
Right. So that was one farm that I found, and then there was another farm that I found, and he was having the same problem. So a lot of these owner-operators, a lot of these carriers are getting up there and they find out what it is. I mean, I've heard a story of a guy going through Idaho. They stopped him, checked him, and they arrested him. So some of these states, they don't allow the hemp to come through. It's still illegal. But you can come down through California. I delivered to New Mexico and Colorado, so there was no problem.
Okay. So yeah, if you get that shipper, we can we would have to know that the commodity is hemp, it has an odor, and
right.
they're willing to just sign on any carrier. It doesn't matter how big the fleet is, just to get that freight out of there.
Right. And I'm hoping to get my my driver to go up there and I can haul it and maybe get some backhauls going back up there and picking up more loads. So I mean, there's so many hemp farms up there. They're all over the place.
Yeah, see that's you said that was in Washington State?
No, Oregon. There's Oregon. Up in Oregon, and then Northern California.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, that would be ideal for people, because sometimes people take loads.
Right. The question I had with the conversation with Gigi on Wednesday was, now if I were to get a hold of a shipper and I was to close a deal with him, how would I go about getting paid? Could I still factor them the same way I would do with a broker?
Right. If you get a hold with a shipper as a trucking company, you can still factor with the shipper with your trucking company. You just have your factoring company deal with because your company is going to invoice the shipper as opposed to, because a broker usually invoices them once the load gets delivered. They'll invoice it, or the broker's factoring invoices the shipper. You're doing the same thing that a broker would do with your factoring company that a broker does with their factoring company.
Right.
But it's going to be under your MC, which is for your trucking company. Same thing with any other carrier. Now, if it wasn't your trucking company, you were dispatching other. Now, are you going to have other carriers that you dispatch for? Are they going to be leased on to you, or are you going to sign into a dispatcher agreement?
No, a dispatcher agreement.
Okay. So if you sign into a dispatcher agreement, then if they have a factoring company, then they can use their factoring company to get paid from the shipper. If they do not have a factoring company, those trucks that you are signing on a dispatch agreement to, then shippers pay anywhere between 30 to 45 days out. So
right.
It would behoove them to have a factory, or knowing that shippers do 30 to 45 day payouts. When you go after carriers to set up under a dispatch agreement, outside of leasing them on to you, to your trucking company, I would make sure or ask those carriers, do you guys have a factoring company? Because I'm dealing with direct shippers as opposed to brokers, and they pay 30 to 45, and they don't factor. So the carriers that you sign on, you may want to make sure they have a factoring company. Now, if they don't have a factoring company, that doesn't say that you sign them on. I would just encourage them, the shippers that are paying well, if you want to get paid by them quicker, you might consider a factoring company.
Right. I have a factoring company now, and they told me that for everybody that I recruit, all the carriers, if they don't have a factoring company and I recruit them on, that they'll give me 10% off of every invoice that they turn in for the entire duration of
right. Now that's probably either a TBS, Apex Capital, or something like that. So what that is, that's affiliate marketing. So if you're using that factoring company yourself with your trucking company, and they are doing pretty well with paying you through the broker as far as booking the loads and everything, when you do come across carriers who do not have a factoring company, it makes that whole experience look better, because you can just say, hey, you don't have a factoring company, I understand, but here's one that I can recommend for you. I'm currently using it, and they're paid well. They offer recourse factoring or non-recourse factoring, whichever you like. And if you sign up, they'll probably give you like an affiliate link on your website or whatever to sign up your website for those carriers to get factoring, and then you can start getting. Now, they'll give you 10% off the receivables that they get off the invoices.
Right.
Okay. I'm assuming that's TBS, because I deal with Interstate Capital.
Yeah, it's RTS.
Oh, RTS. Okay, yeah, RTS Financial. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm off that because basically using affiliate marketing techniques to get more, to drum up more business, and they're willing to pay percent of the profits that they're gonna. They don't care about just getting 90%. They're getting more customers. The volume is going to make that 10% that they're going to lose per, per carrier. So it doesn't matter to them because they're building their volume. It's all about numbers now. So,
right.
So, yeah, because we have affiliate partners on the website. I think we have Whitney is with Interstate Capital. I have an affiliate link for Interstate Capital. I probably need to put one in for RTS. I need to put one in for RTS too. So,
right.
Yeah, so 10%. That's not bad. So for those trucking companies, like you get someone under this dispatch agreement, and as you're talking to them, say, yeah, I got loads are going to book, and he's going to say, yeah, how does the broker pay? And if a carrier asks you that after signing a dispatch agreement, how does the broker pay? That tells me that they don't have a factory company because they're looking for the broker's quick pay options, or one of the three options: quick pay, ACH transfer, or a paper check. So you could say, well, since you're new, if you want to get your money quicker, you could either do it with the broker at 5% quick pay, or you can do a factory company at anywhere between 1% and 3%. And you can do it not just for this broker, but for all companies that you deal with going forward. So which would you think would be a better deal for you? You know what I'm saying? So now it's just a numbers game with it. So yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, and then you can, that'll be a way to reel them in to sign up with factoring. And you can even offer that option as a marketing tool in your, like on your site or through for your pay company. You may, even though you may not sign up with us, we still offer the ability for you to factoring service if you sign up through this, this link. Each company will create a what's called an affiliate link for you, and they'll send it to you, and then you just copy the link, paste it, send it to them through a text or email or whatever, and once they sign up, your company or your name or some kind of identification saying it was you that got that person signed up will be accredited to that service, and then you'll get paid accordingly. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good information.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That shipper is good information too. I'm just seeing how willing they are. They're probably willing to overlook the fact that a trucking company only has 1 or 2 trucks because they want to get their freight, their commodity out so quickly it doesn't really matter.
Right.
So they're probably more willing to work with trucking companies or owner ops just to get it, Now, you said 1,100 miles, so you went from Oregon probably down somewhere, maybe Texas somewhere, or,
Right. That one went over to, went to New Mexico.
Okay.
From, Radium Springs, New Mexico.
So so that could be almost a dedicated lane if you can find some backhaul back up there.
Right. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna.
Or if the shipper has, at the receiver, because I'm assuming they're shipping, you shipped to their customer down there in New Mexico. Now I'm wondering if that customer has anything coming back up to that shipper or not, or going elsewhere. Now that could be a question to ask once the truck gets to that location to inquire. You have anything going back up that can grab another load and bring it down to you guys? You have anything back,
Right.
Or otherwise, you just find a spot load on a load board going back up. So let's do that for a second. Give me 1 second. Let's going from Oregon down to New Mexico and see what's offered coming back up for it. Was it a drive-in, you said, equipment type?
Yeah, and the good thing about those loads is they're light loads. I mean, they range anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000 pounds. So.
Oh my goodness, that's even better.
Yeah.
You save it on fuel.
Right. Exactly.
And you're not in the mountains. You're on flat land, right? You wasn't in the mountains.
No, you're going up and down through hills, so it's still good,
Okay. And you said you were in Oregon. I don't know what city you came out of, but.
Right. Now, I did look up hemp shippers, and I didn't get any results. I looked up hemp farms, and it's mostly what the hemp farms provide. It doesn't give you any information about.
Yeah, like cannabis and all this other stuff, and.
Right. CBD oil and all that kind of stuff, but they don't have any a direct shipper information.
Right, so you would probably inquire from that same shipper of any other, would they know of any other hemp farms in the area that would be willing to, because if they're growing it, because this is turning into a lucrative business where they're legalizing growing, medicinal marijuana stuff. So a lot of farmers are going to need help hauling their freight to their customers.
Right.
And it pays.
Eventually, I think it's going to open up all across the country, and once that happens, you'll have that moving back and forth from state to state.
So now you make a good point. So knowing that, as dispatchers and trucking companies, what do you think we should do to get ahead of that storm that's coming, that good storm? How do you think we should position ourselves? We should be able to find out what states have shippers, hemp shippers, and where they need to go, and then what states are close to having that legalized, and positioning ourselves as dispatchers to get in front of that as well. And you know what I'm saying? So it's a strategy.
Right.
So.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to focus it on getting a hold of one of these farms, the shippers, and then just move that freight back and forth. If I get that dedicated lane, that'd be great. And then as the carriers come on, once they come on, I'll ask them, hey, do you have any problems with hauling hemp? If it's a dry van. And
right. Other than the smell, do you have problems? Because so there's no issue when they go scale and things like that. The smell. Do they have documentation saying that this is legal and all this other stuff?
Right. They give you all the paperwork to show you how much THC is actually in the hemp itself, which is very small. I talked to one of the loaders there, and he told me there's a very small amount of THC in it. If you were to try to smoke it, you wouldn't get anything out of it.
Okay.
I brought it in through California at the agriculture. I showed them the paperwork, told them what it was, and they said, okay, as long as it's not coming into California, you don't have to pull over. We don't have to check anything.
Okay.
Just go ahead and go on your way. So.
Because you got THC and CBD, I guess the different that make up the whole cannabis strength of cannabis or marijuana or whatever you want to call it ratio. So they're worried about the THC levels as opposed to CBD.
Right, because they give you a pie chart, and it breaks down, what's actually in the hemp. So, and then they put one of those papers on each humongous bags that's inside of your truck, so that there's no problems. But like I said, some of the states won't allow you to go through there, and that's Idaho. Texas is one of them. They won't allow that. So.
Okay. So, and then that's another strategy that you have to consider, which one doesn't allow and how you get around that. You drive around certain dates. But at some point, that's going to change as this becomes more legal on a broader scale. Then it's going to start opening up the floodgates. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, keep me posted on that hemp shipper. That's interesting because if we got dry vans heading up to Oregon, and they're having a hard time getting out, we may have a direct shipper resource just snap that load and get out of there to get back to where they need to go.
Yeah, and at a real good rate. Yep.
And at a real good rate, right? So, all right. Now you're a guest. Now you're not on the platform. You're a guest, more likely, right? When you tune in.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So let's see. Miss Ruth.
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that you're okay with dispatcher agreement and the profile.
Yes.
Before I send that to you, and you are. I only have you guys on today. Which is fine. You're a guest as well. And I'm assuming I'm sending this to the TRFLP 27 email.
Yes.
Okay. Do that right now.
On the one that you're doing the PDF, can you change the logo to what I sent you?
Can you send the logo to email?
I sent it to your phone.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Mhm.
Okay, so then I would have to make that change and redo it.
Yeah, the one that you're doing as a PDF.
Okay, so let me
the profile.
Right. So what I'm gonna do is right now I am looking at. I'm trying to look at my email. Well, excuse me, I was at a UFC fight last night, and I was taking pictures on my phone and all this other nonsense. So, and so what I can do, I'll send that to my email, open it up, and then replace the here we go. Replace the logo with the one you just sent me. So that's your logo. Is it like a copyright or trademark on it, or?
No, it was free download. I researched it.
Okay.
Through. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. You gotta be. I'm just making sure that you're not
Copyrighting. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a headache. There's a whole bunch of headache involved with that. So yeah. All right. Let me work on that. So any other questions while I figure out how to use my phone correctly?
No, not at this time. I'm ready to get started.
And hopefully the gentleman that you're going to send your dispatcher file to will be willing to sign as quickly as possible.
Yes.
And eventually, when you get a website, you can create an online form where they can fill it out online and send it directly through the online form. It's quicker. They can do it on their phone. I think mine is mobile ready as well, so they just fill out the dispatch agreement, all information, upload document right here, check the box of consent as opposed to signing it or initialing it.
Right.
And all right, let's see what's going on with my phone. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to send to myself. And I'm going to attach that picture that you just sent.
Okay.
There it is. So hopefully it'll come across. It did. And let me send it. Send it anyway. Let me check my email to see. I sent my personal email as well, but I should have sent to Exodus. So now, what are the other documents are you looking for from the carriers when you get the dispatcher agreement and the profile? What are the common other documents that's needed?
The cert of insurance. Find out if it's at 7,500,000. Kick it up to $1 million. Ask them to kick it up to $1 million. The MC authority, the W-9, and if they're under a NOA.
Correct. Yeah, if they have a factory company.
Okay.
Then they need what's called a notice of.
Notice of assignment?
Yep, NOA stands for notice of assignment.
Okay.
And that's the factory company's way of vetting out the brokers. They'll check the brokers' scores to make sure that the broker pays to pay any claim charged against their broker authority or their bond has been done recently.
Okay.
And then they'll let the carrier know, or they'll let you know to let the carrier know that this may be a bad idea. This company may be a bad idea to consider.
Okay.
So they're looking out for the carrier on the carrier's behalf. So there is the huge picture. Let me shrink it down a little bit. So this is the one that you would prefer, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to resave that and go to the, so I'm going to delete this PDF off the and I'm going to open up the Thunder profile, delete that, put that in, and of course shrink it down. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? Oh, I flipped it. Oh, Lord. Does it matter which side? Does it matter which side? I mean, well, I'll do this.
Different?
I'll do that. I'll just do it over again.
Okay.
It inverted when I shrink it, so there we go. You would prefer that side, obviously.
Yes.
Okay, so that's that. That's the profile. So again, the dispatch agreement, the only thing that's missing is your payment option.
Right.
So I won't save that as a PDF, but I can save the profile as a PDF and then send all three to you: the PDF and the Word document of the profile, and just the Word document of the dispatch agreement, and then you can make the editing changes as you see fit.
Okay.
All right. So here's that. Here is this, but I'm going to resave it as a PDF as well on the desktop. And it's going to say override it because one already exists, or unless I deleted it. Yeah, I did delete it prior to. So now we got three things to send to your email. So let me close this. and log into Exodus. And email to the TRFLP27. Is that correct?
Yes.
If I remember correctly?
Yes. At gmail.com.
At gmail.com. And then our
yes.
subject line will be dispatcher agreement and profile. And here you go. And for the desktop, and attach Thunder PDF. Well, you already got your own logo, but Thunder, that, and that. And then you let me know once it hits your email, and you open up and see if it works.
Okay.
Received it?
It just came through.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a start, right?
I have to refresh my email. Okay. Yes, it came through.
With the attachments?
Yes. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay, have the PDF of the carrier profile. Oh, I got that twice.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
one is Word document and one is the PDF.
Correct. So you can make the editing changes. So when you make the editing changes in the Word document, you just resave the Word document as a PDF type,
yes.
the file type. And it'll say, since one's already there, a PDF is already there, it'll say, do you want to overwrite this? And, of course, you say yes because you made changes.
Right.
Right? That's why I said that Word and PDF, so you can make your changes, make the changes in Word and then save it as a PDF. Because you're going to send it to the carriers in PDF. You're not going to send it in Word because they can edit it in Word themselves. So they can edit it in PDF too, but it just takes a little bit more work to do it, especially if they don't have a reader, a PDF filer, or DocuSign or anything like that. So, all right.
Okay.
All right. Well, it looks like it's going to be a short day today. Any other questions, Mr. Delmar?
Yeah, Charles, I'm here.
Yeah. Any other questions from you? It's going to probably be a short day today.
No, that's what I was wondering about that, and you answered the question, and I'm very thankful to you for that.
All right. Well, if you now you're going to be dispatching your own carriers with the truck, or are you going to have somebody dispatching them for you?
Yeah, I'll be dispatching myself. Yeah.
Okay, so you already understand that process, then.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys haven't already, I would hope that you guys will subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Smash the like button and the subscription button for the YouTube algorithm. I'm trying to build that channel as well. But seriously, keep me informed on the hemp farm in Oregon because the sample is good.
Okay, I sure will.
So, and I got your number here. I assume that you were going to join the platform, but I'm not sure. You probably got enough information that you need.
Yeah, I'll join. I'll join the group.
Yeah, because we have a we also have a private Facebook group and chat group as well on Facebook. Dispatch will be asked questions, and I kind of log in there and tune into that as well and answer the questions on there. Outside of the live trainings, we do have that that portal as well, where we ask questions there after the live trainings and during the week. Like people might get stuck on load. Hey, anybody got a load here or know of anything? So your resource can potentially. Well, I'm assuming once we land it, and if you need help with that too, as far as landing that shipper, we can probably talk to them in such a way that I convince them, like, okay, because they're going to want to know, we're not brokers, right? We're coming with trucking companies. So we're coming in with a network of different individual trucking companies. So as you give us the loads, they're going to give what's called load tenders to each person to take the loads. They're not giving confirmation. That's what brokers do. But they give out tenders, and you pretty much take the tender, and that's your BOL, that's your proof of delivery, POD, and everything like that. So, but yeah, if you want some assistance in that, whenever I don't know when you're going to plan on trying to go after them steady basis, that hemp farm up there.
Right. I'm hoping to get back up there in the next couple of weeks. I did have an opportunity last weekend, but I wasn't able to make it up there. I had some other things I had to take care of here at the house. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks I'll get up there before I actually leave that company that I'm leased onto. So
yeah, because
I'll definitely make some contact.
Yeah, we can market to them pretty good. Like we have access to hundreds of carriers in our network that can to your lane and get all that freight out of there, because I'm sure they're building up their commodity, their inventory, probably sitting around. If they don't have a lot of people hauling it away, those carriers who didn't haul it, they probably didn't have the credentials to do it, or they was just too scared to do it.
Yeah, they were afraid to take it. Yeah, they were afraid of getting in trouble for taking it. That's what it was.
But if I'm assuming that the shipper showed them all the paperwork and they were allowed to do it. Like if they were to get stopped anyway, they put like a pH on the commodity, or they test the commodity to see the percentage of it, they would have passed. So it wouldn't have been a big deal.
Right. So, I mean, the very first time I took a load like that, I mean, you can smell it inside of your cab when you're driving. It's so strong, and then you stop for fuel, and other drivers are looking at you like, hey, this guy's smoking weed, or what the heck? It's very potent. Yeah, it's just a matter of them being afraid of getting in trouble for doing it. I mean, I felt like I was doing something illegal coming across the borders with that stuff. So.
Yeah. But once you delivered, got paid, and everything was good, it's like, okay, well, this ain't bad. Outside of the smell, this is not bad. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, I'm looking forward to landing one of those shippers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes. Keep me close. So you said one of those shippers. So there's a lot of them up. There's a lot of them up there in that area, the Oregon area, that's wanting to get their hemp out of there.
Yes. I mean, they're right off the freeway. Some of them are right off the freeway. As soon as you pull in from the California border going up to 5, not even 20 miles in, you'll start to smell it. And then you look over to your right, or your left, you'll see it growing.
Wow. Okay. All right. So I'll just I'll do some research too, like hemp growers or hemp farms in different states, the Pacific Northwest that you mentioned, Oregon. So, and I got a buddy that does. He has a dispensary in Colorado, so I'm probably going to reach out to him for some shippers from farms or whatever and see what he says. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And go from there. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. All right, Miss Ruth.
Yes.
So you're all set, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Looking forward to you joining.
Oh, I'm trying. I'm so ready to start and get into the modules real good. But like I said, just talking with different people, and they are looking for new dispatchers.
So who are those people that are looking for new dispatchers? Because maybe you can work that angle until you join. So if you bring truckers into the platform who need new dispatchers, and some of the dispatchers in Exodus, like co-dispatchers or whatever, sign on those carriers and they move loads for them, say they charge 10%, you can possibly get like 2.5% residual for every load that they book.
Okay.
And all you had to do. So as you talk to these new carriers, are they carriers with their brand new authority, or they been around for a while that's just looking for a dispatcher, or?
They've been around for a while. One has 5 trucks, 4 drivers, and there's one that's still running under their authority, but they want to run local runs.
Okay.
And
what about the ones that are the trucks and want to run like over the road? Now the local runs, they're fine, but the over the road ones are where
are better.
Money, yeah, where your money starts. Correct. So
I'm in talks with a few of them right now. I think what they're trying to do is complete all the assignments with the dispatchers that they have right now, but they're not happy. They're not getting home on time, and I said, well, this is what I'm getting into. I will, cater the search to get you home on time.
So did any of them give you an example of what they meant by that, getting home on time? Like they were stuck somewhere and their dispatcher couldn't find them something to get them back to where they needed to go, or
because they were left hanging. They were supposed to have a load to get them home, and they never got that load.
Right. So as dispatchers, too, we want to make sure that we don't send carriers, even though the load may pay well going in, sometimes, like in the game of dominoes, all money ain't good money. Remember that?
Right.
So you send them into an area, but then it's hard to get freight out of, so they're going to be sitting there for a few days. So every day that they're sick, that could have been like $800 to $1,000 a day, possibly, or more.
Right.
So as dispatchers, we kind of strategically put carriers in locations that we know going in and out and have something to keep them moving both ways. Now, if a load is paying such a high rate that you just can't turn it down, then you have to think, okay, well, we got to consider like deadheading to the next area to get them a load out. So it's paying $5,000 going in, and then maybe $1,500 to $2,000 coming out. But it's worth it. At least they want me sick.
Right.
So what you can do, I guess, is you can use that marketing angle to send them to the network so that other dispatchers can probably try to do that service that they're lacking from their dispatchers that they're currently with, and you can get residual for that. So, the main dispatchers here is 10%, right? So, again, if a sub dispatcher in Exodus gets that dispatcher or not even a sub dispatcher, just a dispatcher that you shared the carrier with, and you and that dispatcher come to an agreement, hey, I'm going to give you a carrier, but if you're charging 10%, I want 2.5% of that 10% for me bringing that carrier, to you, as long as you keep them running, so now it's a trust thing. So now, which is fine, because once a person breaks a trust the first time, then we know how to deal with that person going forward. But it's an opportunity for you to make some residual while you are waiting to get your own carriers to book for them anyway. You're bringing carriers who need dispatchers anyway into the fold of the dispatching network here, so that we can at least keep them running, and they can see that you provided that service for them, and they'll appreciate you. Maybe even spread the word to other carriers who are having difficulty moving loads or moving their truck with their dispatchers. So,
okay,
something to think about. Now, if you need to like have more clarity on it, better understand it, just let me know. We can go, either today or later on, a little bit more detail about it. How that, what's the step by step for that, as far as the first step by step was to get some kind of mini contract or agreement between you, because you're the main one. If you have the ability to talk to carriers and convince them that they need a dispatcher, but you're not quite ready to do that, then you have to have a contract to say, okay, I got some carriers for you, other dispatcher. Sign this contract. We agree that if you're charging 10%, I need this percentage of what you're getting paid because I brought you this carrier. They not only did I bring them to you, but they signed up with you as for a dispatcher agreement and profile and all the other documents. Now all you have to do is pretty much do your job now, is find loads for them. And for my service bringing them to you, then I can get this amount.
Okay.
Or, and I used to do this, and I have stopped because I just didn't have the time. Other dispatchers in the previous network that I was affiliated with, I was good at talking to carriers and giving carriers away. So other carriers say, look, man, other dispatchers say, look, man, if you find carriers for me, what do you want, $100, $200? I'll give you $100, $200. Find me a carrier, sign them up for a dispatch agreement for me. I'll take it from there. So, one carrier, $200.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Get the carrier to sign up with dispatcher for a dispatch agreement. That dispatcher will pay you $200. Now, they'll either pay you up front or they'll pay you when they get the first load. That depends solely upon the person who finds the carrier for the other dispatcher.
Right.
Now, if it were me, since I don't know these other dispatchers, I would prefer getting paid up front and be done with it.
Right.
Because the other way, waiting on the carrier to have a load booked by that dispatcher, you don't know how long that dispatcher is going to take to find that load person. You know how experienced they are, how good they are finding loads, booking loads, so you don't know that. So I did my service. I want to be paid for it. So I'd rather get my money up front, and then you worry about, it's your carrier now. You have a dispatch agreement profile. You have all your paperwork. Finding loads for that carrier is solely your responsibility. I brought them to you. Here's my cut. Thank you very much. Next. So
true. Okay.
So if you have that skill set, and then I can help you brand that, market that, and if you feel that if that's your niche, and talking to carriers and saying that I have a network of dispatchers that are capable and trained to find loads for you, if you're willing to sign a dispatcher agreement with them for 10% of the loads that we book for you. If a carrier is convinced with that marketing pitch or however you pitch it, and they say, yeah, send them to me, or let me, give me their information, or send them to me now, sign up and get a load, then you have something going on there, right? So something to think about.
Yes. That is true. It's networking.
Correct. It's networking, and it's using it for your advantage for another stream of revenue. Because remember, this is an $800 billion industry. It's a $1.2 trillion industry, the transport industry, across all spectrums of the transportation industry, whether it's air freight, sea, rail, land. But land alone is the majority, which is $800 billion. So that's like, what, 3/4 of the overall market transportation industry. So
Right.
800 billion. So if I can get 1/2 of 1% of that, I'll still be a million.
True.
So, and the question becomes, okay, I'm in the 800 billion space. Now, what do I need to do? How can I get in? What angle do I need to get in at? So now, as far as research is concerned, I noticed that the 3 equipment types, dry-vans, flatbeds, and reefers, are the easiest barrier to entry into this space. So knowing that, and it's been proven, so now I'm going to focus and target my efforts in that direction. So now that's established. So we got past that stage. Now, in that area, let's look at those carriers for that area. Let's not look at company drivers because they already have dispatchers for the company. Let's look at owner-operators. Owner-operators with their own authority, with their own truck and trailer. Whether the truck and trailer is leased or is paid for. They are the owner-operators with their own authority. So they're independent. That's what we need to focus on, whether they are dry-van owner-operators, flatbed owner-operators, or reefer owner-operators. So now, targeting them, now we look at the market demographics as it relates to which one of those 3 are paying the most for the loads in the areas that we've chosen to target. So what are the areas that we've chosen to target? Well, we know that the Midwest areas for the freight is usually pretty good. Now we see, okay, well, the Midwest area is usually good, so which one of the 3 does it pay the most to? So you find out, and then you decide, okay, well, let's target that specific equipment type in the Midwest area. So now you're drilling down in your research, and you're determining how to go after the carriers. So now you do that. Now you say, okay, how do I? Cold calls, going to truck stops, things of that nature. Let me see. Someone put a comment in here. Okay, Alicia just asked, can you show me how to get the screen in the low voice to see the carrier so I can... Okay, Alicia, can you unmute yourself? And I think she's talking about Truckers Path.
Good morning.
Good morning / afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I'm way over here and you over there.
So you talking about the Truckers Path?
Yeah, I was messing around in there and I was not able to see how to get to that screen so that I can see the driver so I can start cold calling.
Okay, so you're in the platform. Right? You're already enrolled.
Yeah.
Okay, so right here you go to the Truckers Path, and then hit sign in, and it should have my sign in credentials.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay. So have you got to this screen yet?
Give me a second.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna log out of Facebook here and know why you're doing clear bandwidth.
Are you back on? Oh no, yeah. Okay. Oh, Xbox. Okay, let's see. Okay.
Okay.
You okay?
All right. So that's this side of Truckers Path's login is the truck search side. You have another side of Truckers Path where you can actually do the free load board, but this is the side that we do the search. So if you're here at the top, you see where it says loads, truck search, and GPS tracking.
Yes.
Okay. Click the link that says truck search. Now you're gonna see an area open up. It's gonna show this little gray box area where it says pickup, equipment, safety ratings, and then the blue search bar.
Okay.
And then below it, it's going to have carriers in all states and give you a number. Mine's is spinning because it's still thinking, but it should have a total number. Like right now, it says 153. Whatever.
Okay.
So in the gray search box area where you filter out your type of searches, I usually keep pickup selected as all states. Now, if you have a certain particular individual state that you want to target, that's fine. You just select that state and go ahead and do that. But I usually leave all states selected because I want to hit all the states for the equipment types that I'm going to select. Okay?
Okay.
Next, equipment type, I'm going to drop down and I'm going to click on any to deselect everything. Okay?
Okay.
And then I'm going to individually select flatbeds, the dry vans, and the rivers. Okay?
Okay.
I do that because those are the three major equipment types that move the most freight. All right?
Okay.
And then under the safety rating, I'm going to drop down and I'm going to deselect conditional and only leave selected satisfactory.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
Because I don't want to call a carrier whose safety rating is either conditional or unsatisfactory, because if I get them under a dispatcher agreement and I call a broker, they're going to run that carrier's MC number and they're going to see that their safety rating is conditional or unsatisfactory, and they're not going to want to give a load.
Right.
Why put myself in that situation? Why not just say I want to just search for all satisfactory carriers and leave out the unsatisfactory and conditional ones?
Okay, that makes sense.
Saving myself a whole lot of headache down the line.
Mhm.
Now I hit search. And when I hit search, my number here, in my case, 153, I don't know what it says on your side, but 153 is going to change. It's going to get smaller.
Okay.
So it's thinking now. Because the reason why it's getting smaller, because my search criteria got smaller. It wasn't all the equipment types. It was just dry van, flatbeds, and reefers.
Okay.
It went from 153 to 80. Okay?
Mhm.
Now, the way you read this is D&G Transport posted in Truckloads or Truckers Path 2 minutes ago. They posted their D&G Transport, their flatbed equipment type, with a satisfactory rating, because all of them are satisfactory. The name of the person, this is either a company driver or the owner of this D&G Transport. Okay. And their phone number. Okay. Now, at the end of each line, there is a blue drop-down arrow for each case. You notice that? If you click on that, it's going to expand and give you more information about them. I usually let me put up the Safer website here that I use Safer to, do you have a Safer website link?
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember being here.
You have a Safer website link?
Not yet, but I'm going to make sure to save it.
Well, I'm gonna paste the link into everyone in the chat right now.
Okay.
So there it is right there. Okay?
Okay.
So back to the Trucker's Path. So what I do is I copy either the DOT or the MC, whichever is pasted here for that carrier, and put that into the area for the DOT, MC, or company name in the Safer website, because I want to see if that carrier's a part of a brokerage or not. Okay. So what I'm looking for here in this information here, mainly, does the entity type say just carrier? If it says just carrier, then that could be a candidate to call. But if it said carrier/broker or carrier/IEP, then you don't want to call those, because that's like double brokering. So just be sure that entity says carrier, and you can work. And then I also look under the power units and drivers. They got 3 trucks, power units, and 1 driver. So that's a small trucking company. So this may be a good candidate to call. So I will go back to here. They're a flatbed carrier, Rolando. He was one of the ones that posted. He's currently right now in Texas, San Antonio. Okay. They're based in McAllen, so they're running locally right now probably. So I would just call them, So you have a different number here for the company than you do right here. This may be the driver, Orlando, and this in Safer is the trucking company's number.
Okay.
So, and then you would just cold call them and then run your script and or your conversation, as I like to put it, and talk to them. So is this the area that you were talking about looking to see?
Yeah, I was just confused. I was sitting up, just going through it and was trying to get to it. I've seen you do it a couple of times, so I don't know why I wasn't able to find it, but now I see. So just getting myself ready so that I can start cold calling because I haven't started yet.
Okay. Now, do you have like local trucking companies in your area where you live? That you
Yeah, because I'm in Vegas, so I have 2 truck stops that's probably 20 minutes away from me. One going south and one going north.
You can probably pass out cards or flyers about your dispatching services, what you can find for the carriers if they get stuck, if they need help finding loads. You're an independent freight dispatcher, truck dispatcher, and maybe you can, do that. So cold calling is not the only way to do carrier acquisition. You can do that. And if those truck stops have like bulletin boards inside of their facilities, you can talk to the management, make sure it's okay for you to, pin up your flyers and cards so carriers can call you.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I've been using everything in the back office and creating my own documents and stuff from your PDF.
Okay, yeah, the same thing I just showed Miss Ransom. I actually just took my Word document and recreated her whole dispatcher agreement and profile with her. Now, do you have a logo for yours, or?
You said, do I have one?
Yeah, do you have a logo for
yeah.
your okay. And but you created your dispatcher agreement and your profile?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You've already created your dispatcher agreement and your profile?
Yeah. I am.
Okay.
I wanted to add one more disclaimer to it. So as far as, and maybe this is a question. So as far as when you invoice
to the dispatcher agreement, you add a disclaimer. Okay, so let's open. I got Mrs. Ransom's open right now. So this is what we recreated based off of my template.
Okay.
So the invoicing part right here. Payments to the dispatcher once carriers paid are to be conveniently paid with the credit or debit card via. She has Cash App, but PayPal, Square, however you want. So what's your question?
Oh, okay. So well, no. As far as if I ever run into a carrier doesn't pay on time, so what happens? Have you ever ran into that? Do you just not dispatch for them for the following week or until they pay?
Correct. And I've had one occasion when that happened. He finally paid because he realized that he was having trouble finding loads, and he came back and called me and said, "Well, I need another load." I said, "Well, I can't find another load until you pay for the first one that you been ducking me on." So, and it was only a $1,500 load, and I charged 10%, so that was what, $150.
$150. Yeah.
So, and you'll get that every now and then. But if you book loads regularly for your carrier and they're getting paid a decent amount, they're not going to have trouble paying you because you're putting money in their pocket and you're keeping them running. It's only those sweet ones you got to watch out for, right? So, and they're not prevalent out here, but they're sprinkled here and there. You just got to, and you can kind of feel the vibe when you're to them. You'll get that feeling. And women are better at this than men because of the intuition trait that you guys have. So, yes, so you just don't deal with them now. And it's not even worth going through small claims. Now, if you had a big load that you found for them, like a $9,000 load, and 10% is like $800 or $900, right? So they don't want to pay that. Is it worth filing against their MC authority, going to small claims court for the money, or is it, you know what I'm saying, you're paying, or is it worth just saying, okay, wash my hands with this person and just not even deal with them anymore, and let karma do its job.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right about that. Okay. No, I need to go back in there and take a look. I didn't see that one.
But what's that? On the dispatcher agreement?
The dispatcher agreement. This one does look a little bit different.
Well, this is because this is Mrs. Ransom's, and I just changed it today.
Oh,
this
okay.
Is hers.
Well, no.
But mine, I'm going to change mine to make it similar to this and add a few, because I made her look better than mine. And that's fine. That's fine. Mine is only a template for you guys to follow and upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Mine is not. Yeah, it's not trying to take over the world. Mine is just a template, so you guys can have a baseline to go by.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah. So, and then I save it as a PDF. The only thing that she's gonna have to do is update her payment options.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The only as far as Cash App go, you can't set up an invoice through Cash App, right?
As far as I know, but let's go to our trusty dusty friend Google, and
yeah, because I have PayPal and Square.
I do too. Yeah. So can you do invoices with Cash App? And I don't think.
I don't think so. I mean, because I have it, but I don't recall being able to do an invoice.
Right here it says you can't pay an invoice directly from Cash App. If you have a Cash App, you have a Cash card, it works like a debit card, I believe. So I believe you can use that to pay an invoice. Well, now this is saying paying an invoice, but you want to know, can we create invoices to send out?
Yeah.
Right. So we just got to look at the features of.
Yeah.
So the feature Cash App, Crypto Slate. Let's see.
Oh, you can request them to. You can request money. You can request them to pay you. So I guess maybe that's kind of like their feature.
Yeah. So it's like a hashtag kind of thing. Whatever you're.
Yeah.
Because they're part of. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I didn't even think about it like that.
But it needs to be. I'm assuming if that's the case, it probably need to be like a peer-to-peer relationship. Then your carrier needs a Cash App in order to send you Cash App money.
Oh yeah.
So
but
now,
it does.
Right. So now it begs the question: so if you get carriers who don't have a Cash App, are they willing to go take that time and download the app, get it set up, connect their bank to it, and then send you money?
Right.
Is it? You see what I'm saying? So are you willing to? So what's more popular out there that's being used? Like PayPal, Square. Those are the popular ones, right? They transfer money pretty quickly. What's your PayPal email, or what's your Square? You can invoice in Square. They can pay it. They can click on the invoice, pay it with a credit or debit card. I use PayPal. I send emails with invoices on that all the time, and they pay with a credit or debit card. So with the Cash App, if you now that just adds an extra layer of okay, Ms. Ruth just said she create invoices in Word documents and save it as a PDF and email the carriers. Okay. You can do that, but then, or you can, like, I do it through PayPal or Square. Create it in there and then send it. Well, with the Cash App, that adds an extra layer of work, I guess, because if you get carriers who don't have it and you decide to use, if Cash App is going to be your primary invoicing mechanism that you use, then I don't know if you're going to be limiting yourself, especially if those carriers don't have the Cash App and they need to take the time to get that downloaded on their phone. Again, sync their bank to it, because you know when you sync a bank to any app, they're going to send you a couple of cents to test it out, and you got to enter that information in to verify it, you know, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, for most people, Cash App is not that hard to set up. So it just depends on, like you said, if they want to take the time out to do it.
Right, we are talking about carriers now. So, and I'm not saying that in an insulting way, but they're not willing to. They just want to drive and make money.
Yeah.
The extra work that's involved in doing this and doing that. I mean, now they do know how to download apps and install them, but as far as connecting banks and getting that to their accounts, they have to download the macro point all the time. And that's a tracking software that brokers require on loads.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to do that. And the brokers email the instructions on how to do that. So following the instructions as far as downloading the app and installing so they can track the freight is simple. But as far as them willing to connect their bank information to this Cash App in order to pay you by sending you money, they'll say, well, I got a PayPal account already, or I got a Square account already. Can we just do that? And the obvious answer will be yes, because if you're still willing for me to be your dispatcher, of course. You know?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have those in place already.
Right. So, but having a third one, now, it's not, you can use Cash App as different options. The more options, the better, because some carriers may not have PayPal or Square. They may have Cash App.
Yeah.
So the more options you present in your dispatch agreement as far as invoicing, and even like what Ms. Ruth said, creating the invoicing and sending it via email. There is an invoice. There's one called Invoice Home. That's an invoicing software. Or you can use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
QuickBooks Pro has a good. Yeah, see, here's Invoice Home. I had this set up. You can create invoices here, and it's get paid. Like it's PayPal, create an invoice. You can email it. So there's plenty of them out there. It's just which ones are more user friendly for you at the time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
100 free.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Create an invoice, email it, get paid. So.
Okay.
And let me attach. Let me send you guys this link as well. There you go. Invoice Home. And then I think somebody already has this one, but let me put that on there as well. Right. Resource. There we go. All right.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
One other question. So I know you always have us to think about that one question that the trucker or the carrier would probably ask, and that's what sets you apart as a dispatcher. What I want to know is, I understand that we all do the same thing. We find the loads, we get loaded, and do the whatever documents and agreements with the broker for them. But are there any other services that, aside from that we can offer them? Like as far as doing the factoring, that's kind of part of what we do too, right?
You can offer factoring. And it says the factoring company is their company because they're the carrier, but get an NOA form from them when you're booking loads with the brokers and send it to the broker, get that process speeded up quickly. Keeping an open line of communication with you and the carrier is always good. There's little extra accessorial pay type of things that goes on with carriers, like detention, lumper fees, things like that. I had a case where a carrier called me at 4 in the morning. He was stuck at a location because they didn't accept cash. They wanted a what's called a T-check. And what that means is they charge a lumper what a lumper is, every time a carrier gets loaded at a shipper and unloaded at a receiver, some shippers and receivers with those warehouse workers on the forklift, they charge for that service, and that's called lumper, L-U-M-P-E. So at this particular receiver, at this particular receiver where he was dropping off at, they didn't take cash, and they didn't want his credit card information. They wanted to get paid through the broker by sending a T-code to them. So he called me, woke me up, and he said, Charlie, I need a T-code. They're not going to let me go without paying this lumper fee. They don't. I said, you ain't got no cash or credit card? I can pay it real quick. What? He said, no, I got all that, but they want a T-code from the broker. So the good thing was that the broker we dealt with had 24-hour call center service. They had 24-hour service. So we called them, and when you deal with lumper fees, they ask for three things. They ask the address of the facility. They ask for the tax ID number for the facility, and they ask for the amount of the lumper. When you give all that to the broker, they produce a code to give to that shipper or receiver to cover the cost of that lumper fee. So what they did, they sent it to me. I sent it to him. He went back up to the window, gave the person. It processed through, and he was able to get out of there. Otherwise, he would have been sitting in there till 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So those are the things that the extra miles dispatchers can go to that you can offer to your carriers. Now that doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, will you be available?
Right.
In those special circumstances.
Okay.
So that's an example of what you can do different than any other dispatcher.
Okay. That's a good one. I like that.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Miss Ruth?
Yes.
Did you get all that?
Yes, I sure did.
Okay. So any other questions before we wrap it up?
No, not at this time.
You guys just need carriers, and then once you guys get carriers, now the next line of questioning is going to be, okay, I need to load here. I need to show, how do I do this? How do I get this load? When I'm talking to the broker, what do I say? How do we need to book this load? What does this mean on this carrier packet? What does this mean on this rate console? Those are questions I'm waiting for next, because right now we're in the phase of getting the carriers. Once you get the carriers, we're going to move to that next phase of understanding how to find the loads strategically for the carriers, keeping them in places that we can not only get them into, but out of. And then after that, the next line of questioning is going to be, okay, why is this carrier packet so many pages? And what do I need to fill out? Or the rate confirmation, what's the special instructions that it didn't say on the load that was posted on the load board, but it's something different on the rate com. So those things you'll have to go over with the carrier. If there's any discrepancies in the rate of the load that was posted on the load board opposed to the rate confirmation. Now the carrier packet you set up with the broker for your carrier. But when you sign and return that rate confirmation, that load is officially booked. And then there's special circumstances in that. So what if you sign a rate confirmation, the load is officially booked, and then like about 30 minutes later, prior to your drivers on the road driving to pick that load up from the shipper, the broker calls you all of a sudden, oh, by the way, the shipper canceled that load. You're like, wait a minute, but my driver's on it. So what do you do in those situations, right? So you can charge what's called a TONU, truck order not used, because the load was officially booked. The carrier's on his way burning fuel to get to that receiver to pick that load up. The broker canceled that load because the shipper canceled the load. So the broker called you. So you can still charge for the service up to about $250 to $55 for your time and energy, burning fuel and manpower to get over there to that load, not knowing that it was canceled. So you could have used that time that it got canceled, from the time the shipper decided that it got canceled to the time that they communicated to that broker, to the time that broker called you. You could have been working on all that time finding the next load for your carrier. Right. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole, so it's a protection thing for the carrier. Truck order not used is a way to compensate for lost time and losing a load. So at least you get something.
Okay.
So those special circumstances that comes up, and they're going to come up, but how do you deal with it? So it's good to have someone or people who know how to deal with that and can put you onto the learning curve, so when you do come across those things, you'll be already prepared for that. So it's just getting there. You have to get your carriers first under an agreement, get all your ducks in a row, and then start looking at their profile and doing your load serve accordingly. Once you find the loads, now you're calling. And you're going to have carriers say, oh, man, I don't want that load. You'll see a load, you say, man, this load's paying good. It's paying $2.80 a mile. And you might have a hard to work with carrier like, man, I wanted $3 a mile. Like, man, but you haven't found a load in a week. But so you're particular about 20 cents? So you're going to get stuff like that. So what I used to do is I would let a carrier sit until they learn this lesson. You sitting all this time. I let a carrier sit for a week because of 20 cents. So he's like, I want $3 a mile. Like, it's $2.80, man. I got you a good backhaul coming back. No, I want $3. Okay. All right. So he didn't hear from me for a week. Then he called me a week and a half later. You got anything for me? Nope. So because I'm not wasting my time, right? And I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just that the season, it was a down season, and I was still finding like decent loads, and I was averaging about $8 to $9 grand a week for this guy. Then all of a sudden he just got like real crazy. I'm like, okay, all right. So I need to focus my energy on those. I got a good load. I already know the numbers. I know how it works. I used to drive, so I understand all that. So when I tell you I got you a load, I mean, please take my word for it. So, but I've done all the research, all the work in the back. That's the whole point of a dispatcher. We do all the administration, all the background work. All you have to do is take the loads on driving. I understand what your profile is. I know you because so now I'm giving you exactly what you want, and you still have a problem. So, but you have to think in. Don't let it get you. You understand that's the industry. These are owner-operators. They're human beings like us. That's the disposition and the persona that sometimes you'll come across with these carriers. You just got to deal with them on a case-by-case basis. You don't want to gloss over every carrier with the category characteristics of that one carrier and difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be fair. You want to offer the same level of fairness in every carrier, and then when you come across an experience with that one carrier as being difficult as far as loads and stuff, you just deal with that person individually, and then maintain your relationship with the others according to how they are, accepting loads, moving loads, paying, things like that. So, welcome to dispatching, right? It's not hard. It's just, it's not hard at all. It's just everything. We have all the resources and tools in front of us. All we have to do is get the carriers, get the brokers lined up, book the loads, process all that stuff, get paid, move on to the next assignment. But everything is in front of us. So the potential is here. We just gotta, we just gotta do it.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay.
I will see you Wednesday. But we got the Dispatcher 101 chat group. Got the chat group, and then I got the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to it, let me put a link in there, because I need as many subscribers as possible. I'm building up the algorithm to set ad revenue from it. So put that link in there so you guys can go straight to it. And there it is. All right. There's the channel. If you don't mind subscribing to it, I would greatly appreciate it. Click the like buttons on the videos, things of that nature. All right, until Wednesday, everyone, Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Have a safe and prosperous following week.